A mad dash for appointments. Hundreds of thousands of San Diegans are about to become eligible to get their COVID vaccine. What this means for local businesses struggling to hang on during the pandemic. Plus, making more people eligible also puts more strain on the vaccine supply. Why this could put some San Diego doctors in a tough spot. And a major drug bust, meth and fentanyl pulled out of a Claremont home. Why neighbors say they'd been suspicious what was going on inside.
ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
Starting Saturday, 500,000 more San Diegans will be eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Farmers, grocery store and restaurant workers, plus teachers will all start getting their shots. Good afternoon, I'm Kimberly Hunt. It will take a few weeks before they can all get appointments, but ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala shows us why some business owners think this could be a major turning point.
Very excited. This is exactly what we're waiting for.
Starting Saturday, San Diego County will open COVID-19 vaccinations to new essential worker categories, including emergency services like police officers, child care and education, and food and agriculture. The county says about 500,000 San Diegans will be eligible and can start booking appointments now, but patience is key as this is expected to take some time.
It's been very encouraging to watch the daily numbers drop the way they have.
Sean Hale is the general manager for El Cruce 241 in Chula Vista. The restaurant opened in October during this pandemic, a challenging time.
Having to move all your operations outdoors. And I think people are still just, avoiding being out until it really is safer.
He's thrilled that he and other team members will be eligible to get the vaccine soon. According to the county, law enforcement vaccinations will be organized by Scripps Health. CAL FIRE will take the lead in scheduling remote vaccination events like for farm workers. All others eligible, like restaurant workers, can sign up for appointments at vaccinationsupstationSD.com. As for education, 20% of the vaccines will be set aside for transitional kindergarten through 12th grade teachers and staff. They'll be vaccinated through a program by the San Diego County Office of Education and California Schools Voluntary Employees Benefits Association, or VEBA. Having more people vaccinated could be the start to getting things back on track and for some small businesses to start recovering.
We need people to feel safe when they're coming out so that we can, start seeing more people coming back to restaurants.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
And new on ABC 10 News, how they are planning to get the vaccine to San Diego's teachers, all coming up at 5. A group of North County parents is suing Governor Gavin Newsom and other state leaders. They're demanding their school districts be allowed to reopen immediately. They want a court to overturn state rules that prevent districts from allowing middle and high schools to reopen until San Diego is in a lower tier. The parents are from the Carlsbad, Oceanside, Poway, San Diego, and San Marcos school districts. County leaders are trying to convince the governor to allow fans at Petco Park on opening day. Spring training is already underway in Arizona, with the regular season set to start on April 1st. Today, County Supervisor Jim Desmond sent a letter to Governor Newsom saying other states have shown it's safe to allow fans at sporting events. Public health experts have pointed to studies that have shown spikes in COVID cases after major sports events. Board Chair Nathan Fletcher tells ABC 10 News he's been talking with the governor and he's hopeful that some fans will be allowed.
Pfizer said today it is now studying a booster COVID-19 vaccine, a third shot, designed specifically to protect against new mutations of the virus. The first 2 doses do offer some protection against variants, but the vaccine maker wants to be prepared should more mutations show up that could be resistant. Pfizer is giving the third booster shot to some people in their early trials 6 months to a year after they got the first doses. For now, the general public should take any approved COVID-19 vaccine they are offered. That is what Dr. Anthony Fauci said while discussing the likely approval of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That was found to be safe and slightly less effective than the other 2, but Fauci says a third vaccine will be instrumental in controlling variants. He also said that Americans should not try to hold out for the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines if they're offered the single-dose Johnson & Johnson shot.
As the COVID-19 vaccines become available, you might be asking yourself, should I get it? And if I do, will I be able to go about life without putting my family at risk? You've got questions, and that's normal. The fact is,
Well, getting vaccinated is certainly up to you, and that is the message behind the new Ad Council and COVID collaborative campaign focused on vaccine education. A lot of effort was made to tailor ads to communities of color. Now, you'll see these on TV, hear them on radio, see them online, as well as in places like grocery stores and houses of worship.
We know that messengers and trusted messengers have a key role to play here, and it's really an all hands on deck approach to get this education in the hands of people looking for answers right now.
This vaccine was built on over 20 years of sound science, and that we were able to do this together in a really good scientific process by getting a lot of the bureaucracy out of the way.
Dr. Georges Benjamin says this is the most inclusive vaccine created. Not only were Black and Hispanic people included in trials, but the vaccines were also developed in part by diverse scientists. He also reminds us this was one of the most transparent and safest vaccine processes, with millions of people worldwide already fully vaccinated and mostly only mild reactions. He too has been vaccinated and went into a Black community to vaccinate others.
I had the honor of vaccinating an over 100-year-old gentleman who was eager to get vaccinated. And I was just honored to be there. He's a World War II veteran, and he was there. He was a star of the show, but he was there to demonstrate to his community that and other African Americans that getting vaccinated was important to do.
The new vaccination campaign comes with a website to empower people to learn more. GetVaccineAnswers.org.
4 people are behind bars after a major drug bust in a Claremont neighborhood. DEA agents found several ounces of meth, fentanyl, and PCP. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer De La Cruz reveals why neighbors were not surprised to find out criminal activity was happening inside the home.
Neighbors here tell me they've seen an increase in activity in and out of this home for the past 2 months. This morning, DEA agents seized methamphetamine and fentanyl. There's now a sign reading, "Warning, stay away." A sunrise drug bust in this Claremont neighborhood woke up Brad Havestad right away.
You could hear the door being busted in, and they came out in full force, ready to go.
Sky 10 hovering overhead as DEA agents served a search warrant near Claremont Drive and Balboa Avenue. The bus turning up several ounces of fentanyl, meth, and PCP. Havestad lives just a few houses away and says this raid has been a long time coming.
Within the past 2 months, I'd say probably about 30 times the authorities have been at that property.
Because fentanyl can be so deadly, crews had to wear full hazmat gear to sweep the house of every trace of the drug. 4 people were taken away in handcuffs, identified as Joseph Guzman, Tommy Shedd, Lauren Murphy, and Jesse Hoover.
Traffic in and out all day. You would have this foul smell through the air sometimes in the middle of the night. And it was just out of the ordinary behavior.
According to the latest numbers for the county's Prescription Drug Abuse Task Force, unintentional deaths caused by fentanyl have been on the rise for the past 5 years. 21 deaths in 2015 skyrocketed to 151 reported in 2019. Havestad says with 4 people behind bars, he feels much safer in his community.
I am so glad. You can read people pretty well, and it's a lot better.
Jennifer De La Cruz, ABC 10 News.
The 4 people arrested are facing several felony and misdemeanor charges, including possession and narcotics for sale. A growing number of asylum seekers are gathering just across the border in Tijuana. Our media partners at Televisa visited the plaza across from the port of entry in the United States. They say people have begun camping out there now that the U.S. is allowing asylum seekers to wait in the U.S. for their cases to come up. Immigrant and aid groups are making sure meals are available in the plaza, and immigration lawyers are setting up stations to answer questions. Only a small number of people are allowed to cross at a time. San Diego Unified picked the committee that will help select the district's next superintendent. The board is appointing 46 people to help with the selection. It includes leaders of student groups, parent committees, and employee unions. It also includes government leaders, including County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher and a staff member from Mayor Todd Gloria's office. The committee will vet candidates and pick 10 semifinalists. Former Superintendent Cindy Martin was nominated to serve in the Biden administration. Lots of hugs and kisses and probably a few tears today at MCAS Miramar. A flight squadron returned home today after a deployment that lasted 10 months. The squadron is known as the Death Rattlers from the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. It was a historic deployment. They were the last to fly the FA-18 Hornet. They'll be moving to the new F-35 Lightnings, and we'll hear from some of those families on ABC 10 News at 5.